Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to elenasbarre, low impact full body workouts. I'm with the Resurgence of Sanity guys today, and we are talking about the outcomes of feminism in different countries. We actually are going to have a guest speaker later today, but we need to start the topic. So let's begin with some articles from Russia to see who the custody goes to, the custody for kids, what are the impacts of feminism on the Russian culture. And guys, I've been sharing with you some videos that my dad was sending to me, so you can get an idea that it's pretty wild in there. And yeah, guys, have you seen those videos?
I watched a couple.
Did you like them?
Yeah, well, I didn't learn anything new. Women are the same all over.
I know, right?
Well, no, they're not the same. Some places are worse.
I
True.
was going to
True.
say, she's made me watch all of them. So,
I know. Well, I just want you to see how Russian men talk to Russian women. It's
Lutra,
different.
have you learned anything about how you should treat your wife?
have I learned anything? Well, I kind of already knew that, and I was kind of already doing that. But if you want to be with a cute Russian girl, there's things you've got to do.
True, true. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about passport bros last week, guys. You can go watch that live stream too after watching this one. Because a lot of men think that somehow these Eastern European women or Asian women are so much better than the Western women, and it's not true. It's not true. So, guys, yeah, if you have any comments, questions, send us a comment in the chat. We will bring your comments up. If you have questions for the panel, also tell us. And yeah, let's get into what.
Let me say something. Okay, I don't really know much about Eastern women, but let me propose this, and you can agree or disagree. Yeah, if you get a woman from a place that has not been westernized, theoretically, she might be a bit more traditional.
Mm-hmm.
But if she comes from a society where men are more masculine,
Mm-hmm.
her ability to covertly manipulate is that much stronger. So she might be better in some aspects, but in other aspects, she is more resourceful. So if you go to the big cities, those women have manipulation skills probably more advanced than American women. But at the same time, they might be a little bit more traditional. But in order to manage those women, your level of masculinity is going to have to be higher than the average American man. So are they better women? Yes and no. But in general, they're no different.
Yeah, I think it's the men that make those women even to appear to be more feminine or better because of the uh, restrictions that these women have and because of how the men in those countries treat their women.
So would you agree men in those countries are more skilled at putting a woman in her place?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, that might be a not very politically correct way of saying it. But guys, if you're going to go over there and do the passport bro thing, you better learn how to put a woman in her place because those women really expect it. And if you don't, you're going to get run over like
They will
stepping in
never.
front of a steamroller.
Okay, Steve, something that might confuse men who are thinking of doing the passport bro thing is women will never admit that they want it in a man. This is why they are looking outside. because they think that the grass is greener on the other side, right? Men are better here, they are more civilized, they are politer and nicer to women than those men in their cultures. But yeah, they expect that kind of attitude from men deep inside.
You know, I cannot tell you how many times I have read stories, particularly back when I was researching the visa stuff, of guys who would go to, for whatever reason, this came out of Latin America a lot, but they would go down to Latin America, they would import a pretty hot, Colombian or Brazilian, occasionally the Argentinian chick. I mean, these chicks are gorgeous and they know it. And then they get into the United States, and these chicks turn into little demons.
Mm-hmm.
They start walking all over the guys, telling him what he's going to do. And the guys just sit there and they turn into these little soft puppets for
Yeah,
these women. And these women love it
at
because
the beginning.
well,
Mm-hmm.
no, these women love it. Like, I mean, yes, eventually they're going to divorce the guy because he's a weak man and a path to a green card.
Mm-hmm.
But they like the fact that he's a weak guy because so many of the men in their own country would never let them get away with what they are actually doing to these American men. So, guys, one of the things about being a passport bro, the men you're competing with compared to the men in the United States are far better at dealing with women. You
Yeah,
have to be that much better.
true. So true. Well, okay, guys, let's look into some statistics. It's hard to call it statistics, really. These are just a few articles that I translated a while ago, and we are going to look through them, okay? And then we will look at how women behave in different countries also. So, yeah, let me share this. Okay, let me go back to the article, actually, so that I'm going to give you the source where you can read the article if you happen to read Russian. So Family Pravo Legal, you can check it. So in case of divorce, parents need to decide who has custody over a child. If a couple is raising their biological kids, divorce is only possible through the court order. The judge, before the verdict, is only concerned about where the kids stay. Okay, the determining factors of residence of a minor. Let me scroll through them. In case of divorce, parents can negotiate where kids stay. According to the Family Code of Russian Federation, page 65, paragraph 3, if there is no disagreement, then oral agreement is enough. The judge will confirm the decision. And this is just a few facts. You can find them by yourself if you want to. Okay, to avoid arguments and disagreements associated with raising kids, the order of communication and location or residence of the child, parents can conduct a written agreement. This agreement includes the following. Okay, who the kid is staying with, a schedule and ways of communication of the parent who lives apart. You tell me if it sounds familiar to here to the US, okay? Notification of parent who lives apart about important events pertinent to the kids. Then reasons for divorce and other conditions if they concern kids' interests. Okay, the law doesn't mandate a notary stamp. So it can be just a written agreement between the two parents. Signatures of a father and a mother and the date of agreement are enough. It's recommended to involve the notary. This document will hold power in case of disagreements. It's all on paper, okay, guys? This is something also to keep in mind that it sounds awesome. Like it sounds that divorce is such a great idea in Russia, you know? When parents can't negotiate the terms orally or by written agreement, the court gets involved. Any parent can appeal, sorry, typo here, even if they agreed about kids' custody before. Okay, let's see here. If parents don't have disagreements regarding the residence of their kids, they can resolve it through magistrate's court. Okay, the judge will separate them, determine alimony and residence of the minors. In case of any disagreements among spouses, and if they are dividing property valued over 50,000 rubles, they should resolve it through the district court. Okay. Checking in here. Okay. In addition to the other requirements, reason, proposal, date, etc., additional information is required. Okay. Okay. Income certificates. Okay. IRS. Then property documents. I put it in red because it's actually important. It involves the financial state. Then work certificate with testimonials. This will determine where the kid will be better placed, okay? And then certificate of accommodation, conditions from the social services representatives or guardianship authorities, payment of government services, of course. Then the cost of government services is 300 rubles. Sounds cheap, right? If the kid stays with the plaintiff, the amount will be later paid by the defendant. Okay, in case of the minors, social services representatives of the guardianship authorities are always present during the court proceedings. Be prepared for a lengthy multi-month process. Witnesses might be invited. Okay, here is another, yes, it's the same article, it's just continuing. What is court paying attention to when taking decision? Okay. The judge operates in the interests of the kid, but really, the material situation of the parents matters, but it's not the determining factor. In the courtroom, the summary of social services guardianship authorities, including the following information: characteristics of checked property accommodation, its suitability for a child, the level of emotional and psychological attachment of the minor towards the family members, parents, brothers, sisters, etc. Conclusion of preferred residence of the child. How much does the US court pay attention to the level of emotional and psychological attachment? I'm just curious.
Huge. But
Huge.
it's all determined by the guardian ad litem,
Of course.
the social workers who generally work for women.
Yeah, I know, right? Same here. Same here, guys. The judge can order medical, psychological expertise in which they will find out the occurrence of any psychic or psychological problems of the kid and her parents, how she or he is attached to his mother, father, and other relatives. Do they do it here as well?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I can tell you this. First marriage, I had nasty allegations. So I had to go through and be evaluated, including a psychosexual evaluation.
Wow.
It came out that there was no issues there. So it didn't prove her allegations. So how is that presented to the court? Not that he doesn't have that. It's just that her allegations remain unproven, but her concerns are still valid. Therefore, they were looking for a smoking gun against me, but it was impossible to prove that it was bullshit. You can't prove yourself innocent, in other words.
I see. Oh my gosh.
And it's unnecessary for her to prove the man guilty because her feelings are important enough that, well, female judges are and even male judges are going to take that into account. So there
Mhm.
is no defense against her feelings.
Of course not. Yeah. Well, I see so many movies, guys. I've been watching some, and I can tell you one thing. They don't know how to make good movies anymore. All of these romantic comedies, they're just full of shit, honestly. They show the single mothers, how the father, like the guy is falling in love with the single mother, and then he gets attached to the child. And so many Russian comedies, modern comedies, are like that. Like they don't write good stories anymore. In comparison to some old Soviet comedies that I really loved watching and rewatching, this is just bullshit. Okay, not good movies out there. Then okay, here as a rule, kids usually stay with the mother, especially if it involves babies and if the mother doesn't have antisocial lifestyle. Okay. If a kid has already reached the age of 10, the judge will inquire his or her opinion to determine the verdict. In some cases, a kid can be even younger. Okay, here it's an interesting fact. Today, I'm going to show you the video that I saw by the lawyer where she was saying that the police, and it happened here in the US, the police was trying to take away a 14-year-old child from the mother because the child, as it turned out, decided he wanted to be with the father. But then she said that, but if she had the court order and certain documents, then she could have taken the child, which tells me that they are not really that concerned about who the child wants to stay with. We will watch that video. It's an interesting one. Okay. Then answers to frequently asked questions. Does kid's opinion matter? Yes, if he or she has reached 10 years old. Guys, we are looking at the Russian divorce court here. Okay, so those of you who are joining now, it's how it's supposed to be working in Russia. Okay, in practice, it's a totally different story. He or she will be asked in court whom he or she wants to stay with, but his or her opinion is not the only determining factor. Okay, let's look into this. In a divorce case, the residence of the minor child is always considered in court. Okay, who gets custody of kids in general, a mother or a father? In over 80%, I hear the echo, of cases, kids are left with the mother. It's a global practice. The younger the child, the higher the chance of this child staying with the mother.
Okay, compare that to the US, and
Mhm.
I will go with what Terrence Pop from Redonkulous has said. And he's done statistics or looked into this. I think he says, and Plutarch can correct me, like 85% of the time the woman gets custody.
Mm-hmm.
Something like 8%, okay, of that 15% where men get custody, that 8%, the women never show up to contest it.
Oh,
And in 7% of the time, when she's contesting it, the man is given custody.
I see.
So, yeah, that means if she contests it and argues, she's going to get custody, well over 90% of the time.
Yeah. It's actually, there is a different source. I'm going to show you a different article. They all circle around about the same number, but that one actually shows how often dads get custody over kids. We will look into it, okay?
So,
Uh,
guys, if you're going to marry,
yeah.
you should actually marry a documented crack whore
Mm-hmm.
because she's got to be that bad for you to get custody of the kids.
I
Yeah,
was just going to say something like that to the
exactly.
effect of the only women who don't get their kids are the ones who have been convicted of hard drug
Felony.
abuses.
Yeah, or felony or something else. Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, she kills somebody. Okay, she's
Mhm.
going to jail. She can't take care of the kid, right? Like that's kind of how the courts the courts treat it as if the only reason that a mother should not get the child is because she's physically incarcerated somewhere else and
Yeah,
cannot take care of the child. Other than that, mom gets the child.
exactly. Exactly. Nick is saying hi to all of us. Thank you,
Go on,
Nick,
Eric.
for stopping by. We miss you today. Okay. Yeah. It's just crazy. And here, there is another article that dives into it, how hard it is for the father actually to prove that the mother is psychic. We will get into that one. Okay. This is just the basics. Okay. Here, the unsatisfied party can appeal the court's decision by applying complaints within 1 month. This complaint appeal is being sent to the court that determined that unsatisfying verdict. Makes sense, right? Can a court determine the residency of a child not with the parents but with close relatives like grandmother or grandfather? Yes, it happens. If it corresponds to the interests of the child. For example, when one parent is lacking legal capacity and the other parent, under any reason, can't raise child. Okay. And then conclusion. It's important to determine the residency of the child in case of divorce. This question is resolved via mutual agreement or through court. When taking a decision, the judge is concerned about the interests of the children. But like they always hide under the interests of the children, but like, are they really doing it? Fathers or mothers' maternal situation matters. Fathers or mothers' material situation matters, but it's not the determining factor. When a kid reaches a certain age, his or her opinion will be included just as much as his or her psychological attachment to the relatives. Look, if a father spends most of the time working and the mother spends most of the time with the kid, you realize, right, whom the kid will want to stay with, whom he or she will be more attached,
Sure, that's
right?
obvious.
So yeah, I know that this article seems to be quite optimistic in terms of how the divorce situation resolves. Um, yeah, but in reality, kids are likely to be brainwashed by the mother and other institutions like schools, classmates, teachers, society, TV. Also against the father, there is a lot of that. Oh, he's such a moron. He's such an imbecile.
Right. Okay. Let me say one thing. At the very beginning, it gave me hope. They talked about they have to negotiate. If they're getting divorced, the husband and wife have to negotiate who gets the kids, orally or written.
Mm-hmm.
At least they're talking about that. Now, obviously, it doesn't fucking matter because have you ever tried to negotiate with a woman?
Yeah.
Good luck. You're never gonna. You can't. So
Mhm.
it probably is just bullshit. But at least they're paying a little bit of lip service to the thought of negotiating. That's
Yeah.
not anywhere existent in the US. But in the end, does it really matter if the outcome is the same?
Yeah.
Well, Steve, notice the final disposition numbers. 80%
Right.
end up with the mother. So, like, it's just like here. They pay a lot of words to the mutual rights of both the mother and the father,
Mhm.
but the actual data tells you what's really going to happen. And this is why whenever we talk, we have such a focus on the data
Mhm.
because you can read these long, flowery articles and then, 80% of the time it goes to the mom anyway. Okay, all the
Exactly.
flowery bullshit was for nothing.
Exactly. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
see, women have a different, they make up their own definition of words.
Mhm.
Uh, in my first marriage, in the divorce process, yeah, there was a guardian ad litem looking out for the best interest of the kids. I couldn't get along with her because, She was a battle axe and restricting me and all that. So what did the guardian ad litem say? Well, you two need to compromise.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? It means I need to accommodate her every time. If I'm not accommodating my ex-wife, I'm being stubborn, and therefore it's my problem. Or the problem is me. Yeah, that's exactly how it is. Compromise, that concept has zero meaning to women. Compromise means she says what her feelings are, and the man is not allowed to push back and make her feel bad or negate her feelings.
Yeah.
Is it the same in Russia?
It's very hard to fight the emotional mothers who believe that they have the right, who believe that they are entitled to their kids just because they gave birth to their children. Yeah. The custody, and I even talked to the lawyer. He told me that, yeah, in most cases, in reality, the custody goes to the mother. There are certain exceptions, but it's like case by case, individual, and yeah, in most cases, it's going to be to go to the mother. And also keep in mind that statistically there are more women in Russia than men, so chances of single mothers they are very, very high. Pretty much every other woman that you meet is going to have a child, and she's going to be a single mother. Okay, let's remove this one. We will move on to the next one. We are moving pretty quickly through these ones. Let's check the next article. Let me open it. I wonder why my statistical analysis opens with these ones every time I try to open a document. Okay, let me share it. Hold on, guys. We are doing it live. So 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Here is another article. Let me zoom it a little bit. Can you see it, guys?
Not yet, because you haven't shared it on screen.
Sorry. I keep forgetting. Okay. Okay. Is it better? Can you see it? Or shall
Oh,
I...
yeah, now I can see it.
Okay. So this is from isk1.ru website. You can check it. Yeah, this article contains similar information to the Family Bravo article. So I'll only include additional points about the court procedure and alimony. I think this one actually gets into the numbers. Okay. We are going to have fun with this one. So yeah, the determining factors, who the minor stays with, the age of the child, who is the child more attached to, sounds familiar, right, with the previous article. Does the child have brothers, sisters, or what are her relationships with the family members? What are the moral qualities of the parents, like education, work, occupation? Yeah, I'm picking on the language. Yeah. Having high status and education is moral, right? Okay, let's see here. What's the relationship of each parent to the kid? Fulfilling the parenthood duties, understanding of the child, and then can a parent provide the child with suitable conditions for raising, education, and development, time, occupation at work? So they're checking into mom's or dad's work schedule, free time, material situation, existence of new family, and so on. Yeah, because of the fact that many men, they remarry in Russia, the kid could be going to the father and to the new family. That could be the case, but it's very rare. It doesn't happen often. So how is the provided accommodation characterized? Private playroom, or a study place in the apartment, proximity to the school, kindergarten, hospital, etc. ecological and criminogenic situation. Okay. The answers to these questions must be provided by both parents, and the guardianship authorities will either confirm or refute their accuracy. Okay, can a husband take kids' custody? Cases when court determines the custody goes to the father are very rare. It's no more than 6 or 7% of arguing cases about kids. In most cases, the custody for kids goes to the mother. The lawyer.
Okay, hold on. That's very similar to the US.
Yeah.
And the numbers I just stated with Terrence Pop.
Mhm.
7% of the time, the father wins.
Yeah.
8% of the time, the woman doesn't show up. Therefore, yeah, okay, he wins or he wins by default 15% of the time. It's not much different in Russia.
Yeah. And the lawyer even came up with 2 reasons why the court takes woman's side. Okay, let's check into the corruption of the lawyers here. The first reason is, okay, let me scroll here. Because most judges about civil cases are women. Shocker, right?
Damn right.
They are close to female position of the mother. And then secondly, because the fathers are not thriving to take the burden of living with the kids. Oh my gosh, fathers are horrible, right? I hear this narrative from so many women. Even that debate um, between Andrew Wilson and this Mahlesh girl, I don't know her full name. She was saying, but a lot of fathers, they don't want to deal with their kids. Okay, here you go. Often wealthy men fight for their rights for kids in court, as he won't raise his kids himself. They will be raised by nannies and service personnel. And this is probably a good way to hurt his ex-wife. Oh, look how much
Wait,
revenge.
why is a man wealthy? Because he works. He earns it. He's got things to do to provide for his family. How the hell is he going to stay home and raise the kids and not make money? That's only possible if there's a wealth transfer from his spouse to him. Oh, wait, that only works in one direction.
Mm-hmm. And also, notice here, I pointed out there is so much victimology. It's not that he can afford a better living because he works, right? He can afford a better life for his children. It's his incapability of raising kids by himself without the woman and relying on nannies, relying on other service personnel. The fact that a woman relies on the government and school as a childcare system is not mentioned here.
It sounds way too much to me that the problem is not with the country, but with how we humans think about women. Because this could be lifted and shifted straight out of the United States, and it would just look the same.
Yep.
So, okay, that brings me to a question that I was going to ask, and this is the perfect time to ask it. Is this a problem just in Western countries? Feminism results in this? Oh, because we are capitalists, it results in this? Or does it happen in socialist countries? Or, Russia is semi-capitalist, but a bit more socialist, and maybe a flavor of communism, but I wouldn't call them communist. Does this happen in China, where it's communist? Does this happen in countries that have, well, Middle East or Muslim countries where it's more of a top-down structure, fascist, Islamic, whatever. Is it the same everywhere, regardless of your political ideology or economic ideology?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't studied Islamic Middle
We
Eastern
actually
culture too
have
much,
we
but
actually have a guest who is waiting. Hold on, let me. I'm going to share the link, but we are not quite done here with Russia yet. Okay, hold on.
Well, invite them in and tell them to be quiet until you're done.
Okay, okay, I will. Hold on. Yes, Shabir, we know that you are here. Thank you for joining us. Hold on. Copy the link. Here you go, because I didn't email it to him. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you can see that it's pretty much the same everywhere. But I'll be curious to talk about the Muslim country, about Shabir too. Okay, so what to do if one parent stole a child? How often does it happen here in the US? I'm just curious. In this case, unfortunately, there is nothing you can do, as according to the Article 61 of the Family Code of the Russian Federation, both parents have equal rights and take accountability and responsibility for their children. That's why a kid being stolen by a parent can't be considered as kidnapping. They give you a little hope here. So even if the court already determines where the child stays, technically another parent could still steal a child. Okay, here. If a mother has a decent personality, she works and can provide for her kid with all the necessary things, and her ex-husband is not oligarch, then there is nothing to worry about. The kid will stay with the mother. Oh, do you see this? Unless you are a Russian oligarch and you have resources to fight for your kids, sounds very similar to the situation here in the West, right? Usually the custody goes to the mother. And notice, oh, don't worry, don't worry, lady, the custody will be yours. I translated it as accurately as I could, guys. And here, let me see. Okay. Okay, now the size of the alimony. Parents can negotiate the amount of the alimony among themselves. This agreement is signed at the notary office. If they can't negotiate, then this decision is determined by court. Alimony constitutes 25% of earnings of one parent for one child, 33% for two kids, 50% for over three kids. It can be altered in the material circumstances change for all parties. It can be monthly payments, or if it's hard to determine the earnings, if they come in a foreign currency, it can be one-time payment. Is it similar to the US?
It's hard to say. In general, those percentages are probably in the same ballpark. It's all in the details of how it's enacted.
Yeah.
And in the US, yeah, they got some limits, but in practice, they can easily exceed those limits by imputing income to the father. Well, yeah, he's actually making only 60,000, but one time he made $100,000, and we determined that he's capable of making 100,000, regardless whether the economic situation has changed or the economy has changed. Therefore, we're going to set it based on that percentage. And it's women judges typically who do this. Women can't math.
Yeah. They really can't.
Well, what was that whole girl math trend we had last year? I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm just saying. And notice how with girl math, the math was always beneficial to the woman. The women can actually do math, but they take the facts and rationality of math and they fuse it with their emotions. So you would always hear the women say, well, I feel good about this math. They know it's bunk, but they fuse it with their feelings to make their obviously wrong math okay.
Yeah. Well, the one-time alimony payment happens in case of unstable salary. Earnings are paid in foreign currency. Earnings in other income are missing. Can't determine the share of the earnings, and this violates the kids' rights. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me share with you. Okay, Shabir is here. Hold on. Hi, Shabir. Great to see you.
Hi, fantastic being here, guys. Great meeting everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, have you seen the videos that the Resurgence of Sanity guys have been doing, or you didn't have a chance yet?
Which video, sorry?
On the Resurgence of Sanity, these are the guys that I have here with me.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I just joined this, so I just got to meet you guys, and I've been hearing for the past half an hour too. So I mean, I gotta.
Well, okay, let me just do a little bit of recap.
Sure.
In general of what is going on here. So there's a channel called the Resurgence of Sanity, and there's three of us guys: me, Plutarch, and Nick Barnes. And we post there, and we do a recording or a show every Wednesday night. We talk about a lot of different topics: red pill issues, men's issues, all kinds of stuff, and explore controversial topics. Elena is married to Plutarch, and she has this show, elenasbarre Fitness, and she touches on somewhat similar topics on Wednesday or on Saturday morning. So it's kind of goes back and forth, and she participates, but we don't let her on screen on the men's discussions.
That's fine.
So when she talks about, have you seen the Resurgence stuff? Well, it's on a different channel.
Yeah, it's on a different channel, guys.
But I don't know if Shabir knew that, but maybe
I
our
just
audience
found out about Elena's the live stream, and she told me just a week ago, and I saw her come on Pearl Daily, so I thought, okay, why not? Like I absolutely would love to talk about what's going on in our sphere.
Culture. Well, let's finish first. Okay, I have the third article
ahead,
for
yeah.
you. Okay, we will take a moment to sneak into this one, and then we will move on to your culture, because I'm really curious and I want to share with you a couple of videos. We are not going to watch all of them, but there are a few videos here, guys, that we want to react. Okay, so 1 second. Let me open it, because there is another article here. This one is kind of more realistic. I kind of liked it more than the other ones. Okay. Let's see here. Cool. You can see it, right? Okay, shall I zoom it a little bit?
Show it first.
Oh, 1 second. Yes, sorry guys. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting. It used to be automatic that I would open it and then it would show right away. Okay. So this one is from pravo.ru website. And here you go. In most cases, the kids stay with the mother, but fathers have a small chance of winning the custody residency of the kids. The lawyers say that the courts are willing to protect husbands if immediately after separation the kids stayed with the father. So right before divorce, if kids were staying with the father, right? Kid's opinion also matters, but only if he or she turns 10 years old. Okay, it kind of matches what the other sources say too. It's harder for husbands to prove that the mother has antisocial personality and lifestyle because they need to sorry guys, lots of typos here. They need the hospital certificates which are not likely to be issued to the ex-husbands. Oh, here you go. Like I said before, it's going to be hard for the father to prove that the mother of his children has antisocial personality disorder. Okay, based on the article 61 of the Family Code of Russian Federation, both parents have equal rights to raise mutual kids. Despite this fact, the courts tend to protect the mothers and leave the kids to live with them. There is no official statistics. This one is actually from a legitimate lawyer. There is no official statistics, but it's considered that 94 or 95% of cases benefit the mothers, says Natalia Patseva. Okay. Even for trustworthy fathers, it can be difficult to influence the courts, says Sofia Volkova. These are lawyers, I think. I did research a long time ago, so I don't remember the details, but as far as I understood, they were lawyers. Based on her words, the courts blindly trust that the child should be with the mother. They can separate the kid from the mother in extreme cases when kid's life is in danger, she says. Okay. Then Patsiva mentions that the tendencies have been slightly shifting. Fathers started having more custody of kids. Then the other lady confirms it. If before kids were left with the father in 1 or 2% of cases, now it's 5 or 6% of cases. Again, in comparison to 94, 95% of custody that mothers get, it's still very low, right? Then Patsiva mentions that there are also regional differences in the regions. The Northern Caucasian, the custody of kids going to the father is higher than on average in Russia. In Ingushetia, for example, last year the fathers could get more custody for their kids in the following cases. Okay, they list the cases here. In all of these divorces, disagreements, the kids stayed with the fathers and mothers didn't appeal. Okay. But it also has to do with the culture in those regions. The most challenging cases are when a mother has a moral or antisocial lifestyle. The burden to prove it lays on the father, since court needs serious evidence that discredit the identity. For example, that a minor can be harmed in the house place of the mother. Patsiva says that this can be proven with medical documents, often medical or illness related to severe psychic mental disorders, alcoholism, and drug use. She also points out that the fathers have to collect all of this evidence. To get these documents is very hard because the law doesn't have the norm under which medical institutions can reveal the following documents to the father. Wow. So much court concern of kids' well-being that they are reluctant to involve the guardianship social authorities to pursue those documents, right? Okay. Then Patsiva also says that witnesses' testimony can be helpful in confirming that the mother has aggressive attitude towards the child, or if she commits abuse. There are no specific documents that the court requires, so Patsiva suggests her solution. Kids' school certificate, testimony from teachers, from which it will be clear who participates more in the kids' life. But then again, most teachers in Russia are also women, so they will pander to women, right? Yeah, this is what I mentioned here. Okay, certificate of your own apartment property, testimony from the place of work, certificate confirming stable income, witnesses testimony, then conclusion of an expert psychologist confirming attachment of the kid towards the father. Yeah, basically, if you have resources to bribe all of the institutions, you can get away with it, right? You can get the custody for your kids. Father's welfare is not always a determining factor as much as poor financial situation of the mother. Wow.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I want to talk about that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're headed into probably a recession. Things are going to get dicey in this country, and women are going to lose jobs. They're already losing jobs. Not so much men this time. So women are in dire financial straits. So if you're married, dual income, and you go to court, yeah, and the man still has a job, the woman doesn't. Man, is he going to do better? No. Nope. Because the state is concerned with the well-being of the mother, and her well-being is going to require a wealth transfer from the working man to the woman, because that's just how people survive. So even though she might be unemployed and he might be employed, that's not in favor of the man. It just points out the greater need of the woman to have the kids, so to enable the money to go to her so she can survive. And that's what that last sentence basically said.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman's need outweighs the man's abilities.
Yeah, because she can use her kids to get more money from the man.
Oh, you mean like they do here?
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's like, why should men get married when they know that this is coming for them?